What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Sports Talk with Naj. Today, man, I'm here with Ryan Jenkins. I'm very excited to talk to the young man. He plays for Westover High School in Albany, Georgia. He had a great junior season, I thought. His film really stands out to me. He made a lot of plays, very disruptive defensive end. And, I have him on the show today. So definitely want to talk to him and get to know him a little bit more in the season he had. So, Ryan, just introduce yourself, man. Where you from and, how was the season for you?
My name is Ryan Jenkins. I'm born and raised in Albany, Georgia. Season goes great. We got a playoff game tomorrow in Spalding. Yeah, ready for that.
Got you. And for you, man, like let's talk about kind of your sophomore year to your junior year. Obviously, more playing time now. You were an absolute game wrecker out there. So your film is incredible. What did you do from sophomore year to now to kind of take that big step?
Really just use most of the time just using my motivation of me not playing my sophomore year, getting made fun of and stuff like that. I had a dog in front of me my sophomore year. I wanted to be better than him my junior year. And I think I see it with that. Worked out every day with my dad, personal coaches, D-line trainer, um, almost every day. So that's why I saw most of the progress at.
Got you. And then for you, man, I noticed too, you aren't just trying to make the sack. You're trying to force a turnover. You're trying to get a strip sack, whatever way you can do to disrupt it to get the ball back to your offense. I notice a lot. So where does that kind of come from? And, like some of your training, who kind of taught you that? Or is that just kind of just innate, natural?
My dad, my uncle Vent, my trainer, Coach Bo Daniels, my D-line coach, Coach Smith. More of roughing the passer calls. You get more roughing the passer when you try to kill the quarterback instead of just going for the ball. And going for the ball makes more possession for your offense. More possession equals wins. So
Got you. And then you were mentioning just now, you've mentioned your D-line coach, your dad, who's kind of, you know, helped attribute to your success. If you had to say, even when you were on the middle school level, you're playing recreational, same thing, who was in your life, who kind of helped you just continue to take those steps to get to where you are today?
my dad and my uncle Vent, dad was my coach my whole life until I got to high school. So Uncle Vent, actually here watching film with him now. So it's still helping me to this day.
Got you. And then for you, man, like where does that burst of speed from the line kind of come from? It looks like, you are able to kind of time the snap count just right before they get it, and then you are gone. Like even the lineman looks, boom, and then looks to the right side, and you're going. So where does that kind of come from? How are you able to get off the edge so quick?
Just practice just practice getting off every day. Guessing the snap. When you guess snap count, more than likely you'll be right. You pay attention to what the center does before he snaps the ball. Sometimes they lift the ball, sometimes they move some part of their body. You just guess once the game goes forward, you can see.
Simple as that. And then for you, I also notice not just the speed, it's also you have great hands. Sometimes you'll have an offensive tackle, right tackle, or left tackle, though, have you hinged up, but still you have nice hands to be able to kind of motion them off and still be able to kind of get the ball carrier or the quarterback. So like your hands, what allowed you to kind of work on that? What's some things that set you apart that help with, your hand kind of, I guess you say hand-eye coordination, just your hands in general was to kind of be able to get off blocks and shed blocks so well.
Just training, like I said, training out every day in the summer. My D line coach, my personal D line trainer. It just walking around the house, making moves, turning the corner, turning my hips, just doing random stuff that people make they see me do, and then it shows up in the game. They laugh at it.
Got you. And then I want to talk about, to me, it seemed like it was like a Khalil Mack S type of play you made. And one of your things that really stood out to me. I mean, you hit to the running back. You weren't done there. You stripped the ball from him and you take it and you run it all the way back to the house, to the crib, to the apartments. Tell me about that play and what was going through your mind. Like when you hit him and you wasn't done there, you got it and took it to the house. What was going through your mind?
So that game we had 5 defensive touchdowns. So I said
Wow.
I gotta get me one. So when I hit him, the ball came loose a little bit. Just I said I'm gonna take it from him. I took it from him. I scored. Really, if you can see on the film, nobody knew what happened. The ref didn't even know I had the ball. 5 seconds later, threw after the film, he threw a touchdown signal. The whole team celebrated. We won that game, 45-16.
Man, that's crucial, man. Yeah, that play, I was watching your film and doing the teletape on you. I was like, yo, that's incredible. I just remember seeing Mac do that literally Sunday,
I
the
watched
week
that too.
before.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it resembled you, didn't it?
Yes, sir. That's what I thought of when I first saw it. I watched it live.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And for you, man, just obviously, you know, starting from where you are today, just how has the recruiting process been for you? Any ideal schools you would want to go to? Any offers yet? How has that kind of been for you?
It's been great. It's been a great experience. Been going on visits all season. My favorite schools right now has been Troy, Coastal. I have an offer from Marshall at the moment. Um,
Nice.
Going to see them next week. Recruiting process has been great. Um, I always thought I'd be here, but I didn't think it would come so fast as I thought it would.
That's
It's been
good.
a great
That's
time.
good. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, you're 6'4", 210. Correct me if I'm wrong if I'm mispronouncing the numbers and seeing it on huddle, but I mean, you have the talent, and it seems like you got the work ethic, you got the drive. You're watching film even at home at 7 o'clock. So I mean, that's very impressive. And for you, where does the work ethic come from? Where does that kind of mentality come from? You mentioned kind of sophomore year how you're being made fun of as a dog in front of you, but you said this junior it mattered to you and you wanted to kind of separate. So where does that mindset and kind of work ethic come from? That's within. It was that kind of taught, or where does that come from?
It's just been in my household since I was little, where my mom and my dad work hard. Never let anybody outwork you. So that's really what it been. Got tired of losing last year. You know, wanted to make a change this year. First time making the playoffs at Westover in almost a decade. So just wanted to change the culture.
Exactly, and you did that. I was walking through a whole decade, not being in the postseason. The last few years, just one victory. Now you're there. How good does it feel to be a part of that with your teammates and going into this playoff game against say the team one more time that you're playing?
Spalding is South Carolina.
Spalding. Yeah, how good does that feel being able to play Spalding in the playoffs this year?
Feels great. I've never actually played in let me say, a real high school playoff game before. So I'm just ready to see what it feels like, honestly. Go out there with my teammates. I don't want Honestly, I'm a junior. I don't want my seniors to go out having to turn in shoulder pads, clean up their lockers. I want to go all the way to the dance.
Exactly. And then, for you, just overall, is there anybody in the collegiate league, NFL that you kind of model your game after, or is it just, I'm my own person, I model myself kind of after my own game, or is there anybody you like?
Definitely Will Anderson from Alabama. You can ask any of my teammates. That's all I talk about, all I watch on film. Just wanted to model his game. Been watching him since he was at Dutchtown. That's up from 5-star junior senior. That's why I wanted to model my game afterwards.
And specifically, why him? I mean, you got so many players you can model after. You say you talk about him a lot, but why Will Anderson? What just stands out to you? Why do you kind of use him as a gauge when you're trying to kind of model your game after and measure yourself?
He's just the player I want to be. Just disruptive, gets the ball back. Just high motor, high energy all the time, man. My favorite school to watch is Alabama, so when he committed there, it just drew me even closer.
Got you. And then for you, man, what is your favorite thing about football?
Favorite thing, just being out there with my teammates, honestly. If you go
Respectful.
around school, that's all I hang around is my teammates. They're almost like my brothers. So
Got you. And then okay, for you, man, why defense? Why defensive end? Is that something you always played when you were younger? Is it something you kind of just because sometimes you see high school, you'll make a position change. You might be, a receiver, you might transition to quarterback, maybe a quarterback transition to receiver. So why the defensive side of the ball? What's your favorite thing about defense? And was defensive end always your position?
no, my position when I first started was actually running back. That's what my
Wow.
dad played in high school and college. The reason I started playing defense because when my coaches passed away, Coach Omar made me play defense. I loved it, and I've stayed with it ever since. Um, Defensive end, I was a linebacker mostly in Little League. I drew up some size this year to where I can play defensive end. So,
Got you. And for you, we've already talked about the work you've done in the offseason working with the D-line coach. What are some things you do just as far as a conditioning, from a conditioning standpoint, from a strength standpoint, just to make sure, if you tired, not saying you are, but just say like, you're wearing down a little bit, you got some fatigue in the fourth quarter, just to kind of power through that adversity and still be there, for teammates and still be able to make that big play.
really, what I mostly think about is me not getting an opportunity, a chance to play. I hate getting out the game. Honestly, I hate it. So when I got a chance, I just think about what I do all this to get here. I'm not gonna let anybody take our shine or anything like that. So as far as conditioning, my uncle Vent tells me you got to be the fastest between 15, 20 yards. Nobody can beat you between 15, 20 yards. So that's really what a lot of stuff I do. Strength. My dad is my dad is on top of that all the time. Um, Dad's pretty big. Lift every day. I still lifting during the season every day during the season and off season.
Wow, that's impressive. And then for you, obviously, I know the focus is this game against Spalding. I don't want to look too far ahead for you because I know this is the main focus. But for far as just looking ahead just a little bit, for the summer, how does that usually look for you? Do you usually go to like camps? Do you do any 7-on-7s? Or are you just steady lifting, working on things with your D line coach to kind of just harness and focus and tone up some things? Like, how does that kind of work for you during the summers? What do you usually like try to work on?
Usually work on the stuff I struggled in the season before, but this past summer I went to a variety of camps where I actually earned the top edge rusher at Auburn. I was in the Bama group at the University of Alabama camp I went to. See, I was top D lineman at Georgia Tech, so just being there. And when I come back home, I work with my D line coach, D line trainer. Work what I struggle on the camps, what I saw, tell him what I saw, tells me how to counter, how to work off of it.
Exactly. And for you, let's say in the game, you know, you prefer, or maybe you don't, but do you prefer, rushing the passer, getting their home, or you prefer making a tackle on the play when you facing maybe like a run dominant team that just wants to kind of run down your throat that ain't gonna let you get a chance to kind of pass rush, or does it really even matter for you?
Doesn't really matter for me, but I love pass rushing. That's my favorite thing to do. Pass. I like getting sacks. I love
Got
getting
you,
sacks.
got you. And for you, man, what was that moment in your life? Obviously, when you were younger, I feel like we've all had it. I played football too when I was younger, all the way up into my freshman year of high school until I got hurt. But for you, what was that moment you was like, yeah, this is something I want to do. I want to play football. When you were younger, was it a player or just a moment you were like, man, that looks super cool?
Just I went to follow my dad's footsteps. To be honest, he played college ball at Auburn State University, so I really just went to follow his footsteps. And the moment I knew I could really make it in football, and I went off of my spring game this past spring game. I was the most dominant player on the field, even though we didn't get the result we wanted. I realized it's something I can actually go far with in my life.
Right. And then for you, I don't want to get too personal, but just talk about the impact kind of, your dad's had on your life, what he's meant to you. Obviously, it seems like he means a lot to you. Just, talk a little about his impact and what he's brought to, kind of your life.
Tubman never kept fighting. He had a situation that happened when I was a little younger. He never had his head down. Always kept him with me. Um, just a fighter. Honestly, he's a big inspiration in my life. I watch everything, even though if you might not know, I watch everything that he does. As a father, he's a pastor, teacher, coach. Everything he does, I try to follow him and what he can do.
Simple as that. All right, man. Two more questions, man. I'm gonna let you go. You know, for you, when you came into the season, what were you hoping to really accomplish? Aside from team, obviously team component is the most important, but at the same time, you have individual goals. You got, hey, I want to get this many TFLs. I want to get this many sacks. I want to force this many fumbles, whatever it may be. What were some of the personal goals you outlined coming into the season, and were you successful in the kind of accomplish them before the playoffs kind of start?
Yes, sir. Number one goal, even though it was just to make the playoffs. Um, they said when I go training, I have a different group of guys I'm with. I told them I'm gonna have more stats than all y'all. So it was a fun little goal that we had. So I wanted to have the most stats in 4A. Um, yeah, that was really it. I didn't really think much about tackles and all that, but really, main goal was to make the playoffs.
Got you. And then you said the most sad. Were you able to kind of beat out your friends?
Yes, sir.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I mean, your tape is dominant. I mean, you seem like I mean, you're D1 bound in my book, my estimate. So, I mean, you have the talent to play on the next level and next level after that. So, man, just keep going. And my last question for you, man, before we kind of wrap, just in this game, I know you said you want to get all the way to the dance and even contend for a state title. But for you personally, what is something you want to bring to your team? What is something you want your team to kind of look at you like I'm gonna get this done regardless of what's gonna happen in this game. Y'all can depend on me for this. Just what are you hoping to accomplish coming into this playoff game? For I think you said the first time in a decade.
Continue to know I'm gonna give 100% effort every single play, win or lose, winning or losing. Um, you can always fall if you're down, you can follow up back on me. I'm gonna get you up. Um, but as far as goes going to next year, maybe um, no, this playoff thing is not gonna be a once in a decade type thing. I'm gonna make it every year, make it a standard of our program, make it here every year, and leave a positive impact on my program when I leave next year to continue to go.
Well said, man. Well, thanks again, Ryan. I know you're a busy guy. Good luck Friday night, man. I appreciate you just taking out this time, man, to let me interview you, man. And good luck the rest of the way. I think you're a superior talent. You will definitely be playing on the next level, man. And just keep working hard, man. Everything will fall into place for you. Just, keep staying motivated, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.